we better watch this race or, we'll be in trouble.
Yeah.
See you.
Bye-bye.
Well, thank you very much. Good to hear. And good to see that I'm sure he'll be doing very well as the season progresses. But as pit reporter Jen Weeds goes to find another good-looking young man to stand next to for the next interview, then the action heads back to the track for the 15th and final heat race of the day. It is race 3 for Super Shifter. We save the fastest and most spectacular karts of all until last. At the end of this race, subject of course to post-race scrutineering, we will have the grids for the pre-finals. Can Sten Dorian Pirimagi make it another race win? He has had 2 out of 2 so far. We've seen Jordan Brown-Nutley do a clean sweep. We've seen Chris Lulham do a clean sweep. There's one of the 4 drivers looking to try and stop Sten Dorian Pirimagi. That was Miko Lane in the Haas kart, and we spoke to Mr. Haas earlier. Well, I didn't. Jen did. And he's watching one of his drivers on the Haas kart. There is number 611, Thierry Del Rey. Thierry, 2012-2014 IAMI World Champion, 2012 and 2013 IAMI European Champion, 4 times a Belgian national champion. But he can't beat the 20-year-old from Tallinn, Sten Dorian Pirimagi. Today, it's a standing start, 0 to 60 in just over 3.5 seconds. 120 kilometres an hour on the straights. The fastest 6-speed gearbox karts we have here. Flag Marshal stands well aside. Lights are out. It's a good start from the pole sitter. Sten Dorian Pirimagi. Thierry Del Rey slots into second position and cuts across the track to stop Constantine Scholl from picking up P2. Miko Lane in kart number 613 moves into 4th place, and the driver at the back there, the Greek driver who was very, very impressive in race number 2, that is John Antoniadis in kart number 616 for Jan Darms Racing. He is already trying to pick off Miko Lane coming through turn number 7, but it is Sten Dorian Pirimagi, CRG chassis for the AIX Racing team. Comes into turn number 9. Well, Thierry Del Rey is right with him. So is Constantine Scholl. They flash past our camera into turn number 11 to complete the first of 11 laps. Now, can Del Rey make a move on Pirimagi? Noban's been able to get past him. He's having a little think about it. Oh, but he doesn't. Late under brakes. Oh, and he almost shaved the rear bumper of Pirimagi's kart there. And of course, in X30 Super Shifter, there's no such thing as a slow speed accident. John Antoniadis has passed Miko Lane for 4th place through turn number 7. Now, what can Thierry Del Rey, the Mach 1 Motorsport driver, do? Into turn number 9. Well, Pirimagi, he certainly doesn't look as confident in the early stages of this race as he has all day. And there's the move for the first time all day. Thierry Del Rey, hard on the brakes, down to the gears, gets the kart stopped in the apex, and he manages to pass Pirimagi, but Pirimagi's got a good run coming out of turn 12. Pirimagi to the inside. Will he duck out? Del Rey will jink to the inside to prevent Pirimagi from going through. Scholl and Antoniadis, 2 Jan Darms teammates behind these two. So Pirimagi, who has had all things his own way so far today, he now is the predator, not the prey. Can he hunt down Thierry Del Rey? The answer is not right now. We're on lap number 3 and all 5 super shifters are virtually nose to tail. Del Rey leads them into turn number 11, understeers a little bit. Pirimagi, a tighter exit to that corner, onto the main straight, but cannot use that extra bit of momentum. You think to yourselves, they're going down, they're braking for turn 1, going down through the gears with one hand on the steering wheel, using their fingers to operate the clutch, and they're still managing to get on the brakes, turn in, hit their racing lines, not bump into the driver in front of them. Supreme skill from these X30 super shifter warriors, and it is Del Rey from Pirimagi into turn number 8. Then it's Scholl and Antoniadis, and John Antoniadis looking to the inside of his teammate Konstantin Scholl, doesn't block him. I think Konstantin, who is the least experienced driver of gearbox karting, I think he realises that, well, I might do better to follow my teammate. I got Mikko Lane behind me. This is Mikko's first race in an X30 super shifter, although Mikko is a former world champion at DD2 Masters, which is a 2-speed kart, not a 6-speed kart they've got here. Pirimagi, the race leader, sets the fastest lap of the race, 53.350 seconds, as he tries to close in on Del Rey. But behind him, with the red race suit and black crash helmet, Antoniadis, the 37-year-old Greek driver from Athens, is closing in on Pirimagi as we run lap number 5 out of 11. Del Rey continues to lead. Pirimagi closes up into braking. There's Mikko Lane on that predominantly white Haas kart. And he can't make the move on Konstantin Scholl, but all 5 drivers within 1.9 seconds of each other on lap number 6. Pirimagi getting closer and closer. That was a strong lap from Pirimagi. It was a stronger lap though from Del Rey, 53.317. Pirimagi responds with a 53.382, so just 700 slower, and Pirimagi's right there into the button complex. He almost forces Del Rey to run a little bit wide as he breathes on the rear bumper of the race leader's car. And Del Rey, well, a savvy campaigner that he is, 30 years old from Heers in Belgium, he will know that Pirimagi will try and force him into a mistake, and if he leaves half a gap, Pirimagi will pass him. So he's got to drive a little bit defensively and maybe back Stendoria and Pirimagi up into the closely following number 616 kart of John Antoniadis, because if he can get Pirimagi to a situation where Pirimagi's got one eye on trying to take the lead, but also one eye on the driver behind him, John Antoniadis, who is the fastest driver on the circuit right now, just setting the new fastest lap of the race, 53.050. Del Rey, Pirimagi, Antoniadis, and Konstantin Scholl and Mikko Lane. But these 3 karts coming through turn number 9. Pirimagi will sense the presence of Antoniadis behind him, and he'll know that he needs to make a move to try and break out of the sandwich. You never want to be the meat in the sandwich. In a 3-kart battle, the worst place you want to be is in the middle, because you can't concentrate on doing one job. You've got to try and concentrate on 2. And if you move offline to make a move, you're conscious of the fact that the person behind you can make a move on you. Whereas if you're leading, you've got clear track in front of you, and the only thing you've got to worry about is making sure you keep that clear track in front of you. There's the move! Pirimagi hard on the brakes going into turn number 6, but he outbrakes himself through the button complex, and Del Rey calmly slots back underneath Pirimagi. So Pirimagi knows that Antoniadis is there. Now he'll try and make the move, but Antoniadis goes up the inside. Oh, and the driver that won the first and second heat races finds himself down in third. Good there move from Antoniadis, and it has allowed Del Rey to pull away by about half a dozen kart lengths, maybe more, as we complete lap number 8 out of 11. Konstantin Scholl is there in 4th place in the yellow crash helmet, and Pirimagi fights back. But Antoniadis comes back at him. Oh, they almost touch. They almost touch. And even though that's a slow section, they're still doing 40, 50 miles an hour through there. Antoniadis looks over his shoulder. He knows that he's not got any pressure from behind. Konstantin Scholl is less than a second back, but he's got Mikko Lane right behind him to contend with. Now, can Antoniadis make another move? Not into turn number 8 because Pinamagi is covering his lines. And now Del Rey has almost sensed that the two drivers are battling behind, and he's pressed the loud pedal and has gone as Antoniadis takes second place once again at turn number 9. Now, can Pinamagi fight back down this main straight into turn number 1? Let's see. The gap between first and second was 0.8 of a second. It's actually grown to over a full second now as Antoniadis there and Pinamagi just behind him continue to trade places. They almost traded number stickers at this point 1 lap ago. Such was the ferocity of their scrap, but they've emerged unscathed down the back straight into the button complex. Thierry Del Rey on lap 10 out of 11, leads by a full second. At the moment, he is a fraction quicker than Antoniadis through sector number 1 and a tenth quicker than Pinamagi. We go through sector number 2 and Antoniadis is actually quicker than Del Rey through sector number 2. Has the 37-year-old Greek driver John Antoniadis left it too late to mount a challenge for the race lead? I think he has, because we've started the last lap. Thierry Del Rey, 611 for the Mach 1 Motorsport team, comes through turn 3. You can see the dark line of rubber that's been laid down. That's where the grip is. It's another new fastest lap for Antoniadis. He's throwing the kitchen sink at Thierry Del Rey in his attempt to close in, but I think he may come up a lap or two short. Look at all that rubber that's been laid down. That dark area of the circuit, that's where the grip is. If you move offline, it's not as grippy, and Thierry Del Rey knows that. Through turn number 9, Antoniadis will not catch him, and Belgium's Thierry Del Rey will break Sten Dorian Pinibagi's unbeaten streak here at the start of the first ever X30 Super Shifter Euro Series Championship. He wins heat number 3 by over a second, turns over his shoulder, just has a look to see, as if to say, well, what happened to you all? You were right there. Come on. But he'll be happy with that. So Thierry Del Rey getting a thumbs up from the marshals. Obviously a driver that the circuit staff here at Genk know well. He takes the win. Pinamagi has to make do with third place, and it's another strong drive from John Antoniadis to finish in P2, with Konstantin Scholl in 4th and Mikko Lane in 5th. Less than 3.5 seconds covering the entire field at the end